Everyone, Sabrina's back here. I've had COVID, hence absolutely nothing from me for the last couple of weeks. Actually, for the last month, I've been really bad at doing any filming whatsoever. So, what I've got for you today is a wrap-up and book review session. So, these are the books that I managed to read in the month of March. Yeah, I've done not great this month. I'm going to put some of that down to COVID because that completely knocked me out for a week and a half. Almost 2 weeks where I was just not able to read a thing. So this is really appalling. And considering I had a reading retreat as well over the weekend, I actually managed to read one complete book. And then I read like a chunk of another book and a bit of another book. So it wasn't as great as it could have been, but we had a lovely weekend anyway. So first up, I read Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucia. This was Fairy Loot's December box. And this is set during the Black Plague in France-ish, I think, sort of in that area. And it's basically a very gentle tale about survivor's guilt and living after so much death. And I really liked it. The twist, I saw a mile coming. You know, it wasn't like a subtle twist in the story. I think it's like one of those that you could see coming very, very early on. But it didn't detract from the storyline. I really liked the main characters. The romance was very gentle. It was actually quite sort of realistic. Sort of one person having to deal with what he's been through and dealing with the guilt of that. And dealing with the fact he's survived all this death around him and coming to terms with living again. Really like this. I think this is a quite underrated little book at the moment, and I don't think people have really been talking about it. It's just one that's passed under the radar. So Year of the Reaper, I actually recommend if you want a very sort of gentle book that's very full of hope and promise. I then managed to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Soon-Lin Tan. This is first in the Celestial Kingdoms duology. There's a lot of glare on this book. The light today is terrible. This is my Fairy Loot edition. I have done an unboxing video for this, which I really, really love. But this follows the Daughter of the Moon Goddess as she has to escape being found out by the Celestial Emperor and Empress, and she's finding a way to free her mum from the punishment that's been doled out for her for something that really she didn't have much choice in the matter. And it's very poetic. This is very beautifully written. It's a nice sweet tale about family and love and loyalty, but also about discovering yourself and who you want to be. And I just really, really enjoyed this. This is such an easy, quick read. I mean, considering it's quite a big book, it was really quick to read. And there's certainly a setup for book 2 that's very clear, that things have not been resolved completely, that there's going to be quite a bit of turmoil within the Celestial Kingdom because of various events. Not all the ones that are in here, some of them are historical. And I just really appreciated the world building in this and the romance in here and just the way it sort of pulls all the threads together. I thought it was really well done, so really looking forward to the sequel. Finally, I blitz read One for All by Lily Lanoff. I read this on our reading retreat, so I read this in one sitting, and this is a Three Musketeers gender bent retelling with chronic illness representation. This is a fantastic book. It's not been published over in the UK yet, so my copy came from Blackwell's, which I'm very, very grateful to them because they get in a lot of American publication books. Particularly the nice covers that I like as well. But UK readers, please try either pre-order this. It's coming out next February in the UK in paperback, and we're going to get a different cover. If you can't wait that long, go and order it off Blackwell's or Forbidden Planet. Please go and do that because this book is so much fun to read. It's so full of positivity and hope and women love and support for each other. There's a bit of LGBTQ relationship in here, which is just so lovely. It was just so natural, and it's like, oh, brilliant, I like this. And just the main character, whose name I've forgotten, Tanya, she has what would be called postural or orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which basically means she suffers from a drop of blood pressure, which causes lightheadedness, dizziness, shortness of breath and fainting. But obviously during that time period it's not diagnosed as that because they don't have a name for it, so she's just called a weak child. But what I really liked in this is the main character herself. She doesn't let it stop her. She's not defined by it. She's she's the girl in the village who no one will want to marry because she's sickly, she's not healthy or anything, and she's kind of resigned to that as her fate. But she will not be defined by that. She will fight for what she believes in. And I really liked the fact that the other characters came around and just supported her. They were just there for her. There was none of this, ooh, we don't like you and all that. No, it was just full-blown support for their new teammate. I was so full of women power and strength and love for each other, and it was just so nice to see that. This is totally 100% the Three Musketeers, but women, and it was just lovely to read. It really was, to read something so historically positive. And do you know what? Can I have another book following these characters? Because I really, really liked it. So, one for all, please go and give this book some love. It's not getting the recognition it deserves, I think purely because it's not been published over in the UK at the moment. So please, go and read this book because it's just beautiful and lovely. And it's just fun. It really is fun. And that's all I read in March. Yay. Well, that's not true, because I did read 300 pages of Poppy War, which I'm buddy reading with a sixth former at work. And because of COVID, I've got behind where they are. So they were in on Friday talking about bits at the end. Thankfully, I have read the book before, so I can talk spoilers and that with them. But it's like, I need to finish this book so we can blitz read The Dragon Republic next. And I did read part of The Untold Story as well. But obviously I didn't finish it in the month. But yeah, that's been my March reading. So hopefully I've got my fingers crossed that I will start to feel a bit better this month. I'm still actually full of head cold. I'm no longer positive for COVID, but I am still poorly, which absolutely sucks. How can I have a cold for coming on 3 weeks now? And it's just a drag, it really is. So I'm really hoping things will get back to normal. I've got the Easter break, so I'm hoping to set aside a couple of days where I just do some solid reading and try and catch up to where I want to be, because I have a lot of books that I want to read and I just haven't got around to doing. So it's kind of like my promise to myself over the Easter break to read these books I want to read. And I've got some real crackers that I'm really excited to get my teeth into. How is your March reading? Let me know down below. Any books that you think I should be putting on my TBR or prioritising if I have them already, let me know down below. And have you read any of these 3 books? Which was your, way? Let me know. No spoilers though for people who haven't read them yet. But, I loved all 3. And all 3 are very different. As always, usual MacGuffins down in the description box, YouTubers that I think you should go and check out, my social media and my book blog, which has been neglected terribly. Sorry. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for my new subscribers. And as always, be safe. Happy reading.